Good morning, beautiful. It is lovely to see you here. Inside, out of the blustery wind. No way I can go live in the garden today. And I'm just going to do rocks because that's what we do when it's blowing or raining outside. And so today, this is one of my many favourites. You know, I say it's a favourite, but I'm very fond of a lot of my rocks, all of them. Otherwise, why would they still be here? So this is quartz. And it's so varied and it's so beautiful. And what can I say? It started off white. The black bits, when they grew, there was radiation and it made them black. That's what happens when quartz gets exposed to radiation. Good morning, beautiful being. It is lovely to see you. And I love this little bridge. You know, this is like a cityscape, right? Some futuristic city. Good morning, Carrie Ann. It is beautiful to see you. Always lovely to see you. And there's a very reflective surfaces. And this was a big point, right? Look at this. Kind of double one, and then it broke, and you can see the inside of it. And it's just fabulous. And then it doesn't stop being fabulous because when you turn it over, oh look, there's these tiny little growths here. But all of this is quartz too. But I don't know how well you can see. See these shapes here? That diagonal sort of diamondy shape? That is the shape of calcite. There you are. You can see the imprint of a calcite crystal there really clearly. Calcite grew on the bottom of this stone. Or this stone grew on calcite. They grew together. And then something came along and dissolved the calcite out. And you're left with the negative imprint of what was there. But it's not there anymore. And I love that. It's just a fabulous piece of quartz, and you can just turn it over and over and look at all the bits. It's wonderful. So there it is. And this one, I remember, I remember when I bought it. I went to a mineral fair, or I went to one of those, spiritual, healthy, whatnot expos with no intention of buying anything, and I was pretty sad at the time. I remember that too. But I sort of broke my own rule and bought this one, and I'm glad I did. It's beautiful to share with you. Now, I have two wonderful pieces from my friend Jenny Polo's collection. This, look at it, isn't it glorious? It's kind of blue and kind of rounded and hillocky, mounded if you like. And there's the side, and the label says Cuprian smithsonite, Scorpion. Well, perhaps Scorpion is the place in Namibia. Probably isn't, I would guess, actually Scorpion mine. So this is another piece of smithsonite, right? And because it says smithsonite from Burgaukas in Namibia. So clearly smithsonite grows in different shapes, and from memory, it's one of those things that can, this used to be cuprite, because I have memories that cuprite grows like this. It's not too different from the shape that you get when malachite grows. It's these rounded humps. And then something grows in its place. And I think smithsonite does that, because the other day we were looking at smithsonite quartz. So it was quartz that's become smithsonite. So it's one of those secondary minerals. That's really, really cool. So I'll put that one down for a minute. Good morning, Mike. It is lovely to see you. And hello to everybody who's jumping on. It's wonderful to have you here. So I'm enjoying this because it's such a varied rock, and then it's all sparkly and beautiful and lovely here. And that's smithsonite. Oh, hang on, get it right. Cuprian smithsonite, presumably after cuprite. So there you go. And this one, just so you can see it more clearly, has got blades. It's clearly the same mineral, but it's a very different shape. So I'm starting to get the idea that smithsonite is very varied. And it's just fabulous. I love this. Beautiful soft blue. So, welcome to everybody to this somewhat unexpected edition. Not the least unexpected to me. But, sometimes things sneak up on you, and, well, no, sneak up is not right either. Sometimes things grow in you, and then one day the flower opens and you think, oh. So, last night I was sitting in a funk, actually. Because of things that I'm facing in myself at the moment. Quite aware of the process, quite conscious, but, in a funk. and tuning in and thinking, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? As you're well aware, I often ask. And there was nothing. There was nothing at all. And more than that, it was the sense of, I've done this before. I have said everything I have to say. And nobody's asking me questions and nobody's talking to me now. Please don't think that I'm telling you off or making myself a victim because you didn't do something right and it's all your fault. No, I'm just telling you how it is for me. In this experience of doing what I've been doing for the last 4 years, by the way, it's been a long time. And so, as I often do when I'm stuck, I just start writing. I just start writing until something comes clear. And what became clear as I started writing is that I'm done. I'm done with this. Unbelievably, I'm done with this. I don't know for how long. I don't know who I'm becoming. All I know is that I am so different. I have changed so much inside myself in the last little while that I can't keep on with business as usual because I'm no longer that person for whom this is business as usual. I'm just not anymore. And what I found interesting is as I have brought my energy back to me and I have been decluttering my life, you've heard me talking about that, and I've been taking things out of my garden that have been there for decades and giving them away, making space in my house, in my garden, in myself. I closed the heart field. It wasn't growing. It wasn't working for me. And I thought, well, I still enjoy doing lives. But it's just started to feel hard. Because it needs to be this thing that keeps itself going and is easy and joyful and nurtures and nourishes me. And increasingly it hasn't been. And that's something that I've had to recognise and get real with myself about and get honest with myself about and say, well, I'm not going to force this. I'm not going to push myself uphill. I'm not going to flog myself. It's got to work for me. And I recognise patterns in my life where I have done all kinds of things that work for everybody else and didn't work for me. And I can't keep being that person anymore. I am not that person anymore. So I truly do not know who I am becoming. My original game plan was that I would keep delivering value like this and raising my profile and all of that stuff that you do, which I've done quite successfully, and things would grow out of it. And sure enough, my profile's risen and my page has grown, and that's great. The real challenge is, of course, this is all about me. Make no mistake. This is about me and what I've manifested in my life. And I understand. I so do. And there's been a challenge for me because, lots of people, they build up a presence and then they have a product or a widget or something that they sell. Because and the presence is interested in them, so they want to buy the thing. But the thing that I've offered is for people to reciprocate by supporting me, and that hasn't really happened. It's just how it is for whatever reason. And you get tired of saying, oh, please like and share and blah blah blah. I'm over that. I just don't want to do it. I really don't want to do that. Now there is something in me that wants to be lived and come through and be fantastic. But I have to make space in my life to connect with what that is. And I don't know what it is right now. All I know is I've got to become the person that is living that life. And I'm really busy doing that. But it's completely unknown to me. And like I say, I'm in the void. I don't know who I'm becoming. I only know who I'm not anymore. And I'm not the person who will continue to give and give and give, which I love to do, but not to have it come back to me in a way that somehow works for me. And again, I am not blaming you for this. This is my creation. This is my manifestation. It's what I've created. It's who I've been. I totally own that. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. I was walking up the hill today thinking, well, maybe I'll have time to take more photographs. Hi, Jocelyn. Maybe I'll have time to be more creative and share that with you. Maybe I'll have time to focus in on this magnus opus that is kind of within me to do, but I've had no space to do it. I don't know. I don't know. For the first time in my life, I feel free to make a choice for me. And that's amazing, really. I've had a lot of pressures and a lot of choices, a lot of things that I've had to manage, and various reasons things have changed, and I don't need to do that anymore. And so, it's like I'm a mother and all my kids have grown up and left home. I'm not a mother and I don't have kids that have grown up and left home. But it's the same kind of experience that I have to make room and time for me now and make my life simpler. I've spun so many plates for so long, and I don't want to do that anymore. So, you might find that I pop up because there's something in the garden and I want to go live and show it to you. I don't know. I haven't a clue. And it's quite wonderful not knowing. It really is. It surprises me how wonderful it is to not know. And, I'm going to post replays because there's value in the replays, so that there's something for you to interact with. And if you've got questions, for crying out loud, write me. If you miss me, write me. I have people who say, I really miss you. All you have to do is write. They don't write. Okay, they don't really miss me. They're just saying that. They're running a program. I'm kind of over that whole thing of, do it or not do it. Yoda, do or do not. That's the only thing there is. I've just got completely over hand-holding. Because it's time I looked after me and created what it is that's in me that really wants to become massive. Well, thank you, Kerry. I don't know. All I know is right now, it would be lovely to have you write, Sanjia. And and I want to thank everybody who's been jumping on and changing your lives because of, what I've been sharing with you. It's such a privilege to be part of. I'm so grateful that I have been able to do that. I don't really want that to stop, okay? That's the biggest consideration is my mind. All these people, and then I think, but they're responsible for themselves. If they want to grow, they'll grow. If they don't want to grow, there's not a blind bloody thing I can do to help them. We talked about that yesterday and the day before and the day before that and the day before that. People have got to do what people are going to do, and so have I. So it's the strangest thing. And I'm sure I won't completely disappear, but I realise that I'm calling my energy back to myself because I just got to change it for me. I will be very, very happy to have you stay in touch, Kerry, because watching you has been wow, and your story is still unfolding in a wow kind of way, and I want to know what happens next. And there's all kinds of things that are kind of in the, like popcorn, but I got to make space. I'm so had enough of wedging things in, so squishy and tight. I've just no, the no in me about that's enough. Alexis, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Oh, well, Mike, the thing is, oh, bless you. Topics are just topics. The thing underneath it all is, who am I being today? Who are you being today? How are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are you doing? And are you happy staying there and wallowing in it, or are you going to do something different? That's really the thing. And it's like I need to go and learn more that's new. I am learning constantly. But I have a big project at the moment, and I need to put my energy into that. And it's me. And there'll be a point when that project is done, and then who knows what'll happen. And I'm sure all the other stuff won't stop. It's all a unity. But yeah, I have to do something that's fresh and new and excites me and doesn't become, another hamster wheel. I drew a line in the sand under a hamster wheel at the end of 2016, and it appears that now in the middle of 2021, I am drawing another line in the sand. And yeah, who knows if I have time to take in more information. The only person I resonate with is Dr. Joe Dispenza. We will see whether I can find other voices that make sense to me. I have a very, very, very specific frequency and bandwidth, and there's reasons for that. It's just who I am and how I choose to be. We will see. We will see. So, I would love you to post as you wish on the page. Keep it alive. It's not that I'm going to completely ignore it, but I'm going to do exactly what my heart wants me to do and nothing else. And when I know what the next thing is, I'm sure I'll let you know. It's a very... Logically, in the three-dimensional world, I'm insane to let this all go. But I'd be hanging on to something that it's kind of already gone. And I know it. My energy's been pulled out of it. And that's why I've been watching it slowly die, slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller. It's just not happening. So it's time to let it go and see what comes into the void. And I'm just in gratitude for the journey. I vaguely remember who I was when I first stood under my cherry tree and did my first live on the 9th of June 2017. God, I lose track. I'm pretty sure it was 4 years ago. I remember who I was, and I am not that person. I haven't been that person for a long time. But I'm also not even who I was a month ago. And I gotta just go into the chrysalis for a while. It's not a case of figuring out, because everything that I know and hear about who I am is old and mostly irrelevant. The only thing that's true for me is who I'm becoming. And I get whiffs and sniffs and flashes of being that person, but the flip-flop between the old me and the new me is so deep that I got to focus all my energy on becoming my new self. I just got to do that. And when I know who that person is, and when I can show up as that person without being having to put an enormous amount of energy into staying in that space and not being who I've been, then I'll probably know what the next step is. But right now, the death of the old self is quite messy, and it's just too demanding to put energy anywhere else except on me for that reason. To prioritize me. Just what I have to do. I know what I got to do. I know what to do. I know that it'll work. I don't know how long it'll take, and I kind of don't care. I'm just in it for the ride. And whatever happens after that, as within, so without, Alexis. That's how I would say it. Because for me, there is no above. There's nothing outside of me. It's just my creation and who I'm being. And yeah, I just am I'm in the crucible. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be in the void. I'm glad to have no idea what my future looks like. I've been saying that. I really don't. That's a huge transition. Thank you, Carrie. I'm glad to be an inspiration because I know how much it meant to me when I discovered somebody who actually inspired me. You have no idea how wonderful it was to have somebody inspire me. Really hurt not to have anyone inspire me. So now I do. And now I'm becoming inspired by myself, and that's really special. And all of you inspire me when you grow. And I would love to know when you have breakthroughs, when you level up, when you think, oh my God, I overcame myself today. I'd love for you to post on my page and tell me. Because that's the only reason we're in this, really, is to change. That's the only reason to do anything, is to become a greater version of yourself. So that's who I'm being today. There's nothing else for me. Nothing else makes any sense. Nothing else at all makes any sense than becoming who it is that I can be. It is a breakthrough, Sunshine, you're right. It's a complete break off. It's a goodbye. It's a farewell to my history. I just have to stop being who I've been. If I want a future that I'm going to be in love with, I'm going to be more in love with the unknown than what I know, and I'm going to be more in love with what I cannot see than what I can see and what I can remember. Everything that's inside here, except for what I'm creating about my future, has to go. It's just not who I want to be anymore. So, yeah, I'm grateful to be in this space, and I'm grateful to share it with you, and I'm grateful that we've shared this journey and that it's not over. It's just changing. Yeah, I'm becoming new Maddie every day, Carrie. It's just at the moment the shifts are so fast and so intense that I just got to go into the monastery and create myself without having any distractions. I've just been pushing distractions away, which is not to say that you're a distraction, because it's lovely to connect with all of you and to have served you this way. So who knows what the future holds. It's going to be an adventure. Very much love. I'm sure something will evolve. I have no idea what it is. So stay in touch. Big love. I'll see you sometime. And I will be back in 3.5 hours with an update from Sang Marie in the Gambia. Until then, bye-bye.